Hey guys, this is Comic Uno, and today I'm doing a review for Justice League, the Darkseid Wars Batman tie-in / one-shot. So before I start talking about this issue, just want to give you guys a couple updates. Of course, I have Comic Uno episode 118, and that's the show where I review all the comics I read this week in one show. And here are the exclusive comics. We got Van Helsing vs. Dracula, issue 3, Perez, issue 5, Deathstroke, issue 11, Kanan and the Last Padawan, issue 7, and Revival, issue 34. So if you want to go check out all those reviews, go to Comic Uno, episode 118, which is annotated. Let's start talking about Justice League, the Darkseid War Batman, issue 1. So, I reviewed Justice League issue, what are we up to, 45 last week, and I thought it was very much that issue where it's just like, you gotta get all these one-shots to understand the story, or I'm selling you some one-shots. Even though I really liked the issue, it still felt that way. But I wasn't originally gonna pick up these tie-ins, because I haven't been loving Darkseid War. It's been an okay series, okay event in my opinion. It's been very long in my opinion also. So I wasn't going to originally pick this up. I said, alright, I'll just read the normal story. I don't have to pick up these tie-ins. But this week was really small, and I'm a big Batman fan. So I was like, alright, let me give it a try. So I ended up picking this up. So let's see if I enjoyed the story. So beautiful cover by Francis Manapul. He is my favorite artist of all time, so I love his work. And we get to see, characters that are not totally in the story. So we get to see Flash, Shazam, Superman, but they're all the gods. They're all the gods coming up. So, but the main focus is Batman, and yeah, beautiful artwork here. So let's see what's going on with story. But before I start talking about that, I want to talk about the artwork. I think it's classic Batman here. Really enjoyed the artwork, especially his little seat going on. It looked pretty cool. The glowing light looked awesome. So overall, really enjoyed the artwork. But let's see what's going on with the story. So with this issue, it's dealing with Batman being the god of knowledge, and we get to see Commissioner Gordon. Again, this is not continuity, so it's back to before, I guess, Jim Gordon is Batman. It doesn't seem like he's been Batman at any point, so they don't really care about continuity here, which has been a complaint about Darkseid War also, because these events don't really count for the rest of the DC universe. It's just the Justice League, and I'm just like, I want to see Bat-God for a little while with Scott Snyder, I think that would be interesting, and I like the shared universe. That's the whole point why you have it. So I'm not a big fan of creativity over continuity, but it's something we have, and something that's especially relevant in Justice League, because they're all gods, only in this book. But anyways, so we get to see that Jim Gordon is not really happy with Batman being on the seat, and Batman feels that he can tell the future and know if someone's going to do a crime, and Commissioner Gordon, being the law, is like, we can't put somebody in jail for something they might do, and Batman's like, no, they're going to do it. So along the way, he tries to save Gotham. He's trying to make Gotham a better place, more than just a better place. He just wants no crime at all. That's his goal, and then Batman doesn't have to exist anymore. That's kind of his goal here. And then he finds this guy who's trying to kill his wife, or his ex-wife, and then he ends up taking him to Themyscira and bringing him to an island with all women who are probably going to beat him up. So I thought that was a pretty cool, punishment. So I thought that was an interesting side story. But then Batman goes back to his past and tries to save his parents and realizes he can't do anything. So it's not, he's able to kind of see his past, but he's not able to, change the past because he's not a time traveler. But he's vividly seeing what happened. And he's like, well, now I'm going to visit Joe Chill in jail. And he's able to punish Joe Chill, and he goes back to the, he's manipulating Joe Chill's mind, and he goes back to the alley that his parents died in, and he said, if you could do it over again, would you kill him again? He's like, yeah, I would. You see how bad this person is, that he spent all this time in jail, has not learned his lesson, and he tells how many people he killed, and he said, yeah, I'm glad I killed him, and I'm glad that boy had nightmares. And then Bruce gets really angry and upset, and he said, the only people I cared about that died here are my parents. And then he reveals to Joe Chill that he was Bruce Wayne. He's like, what? I made the Batman, you know, he's scared, he's like, oh my god, what's gonna happen? He thinks Batman's gonna kill him, and then Batman kind of does the right thing and erases his memory and says, alright, well, you don't know I'm Batman, but he threatens him and says, I'm gonna tell everybody in this jail that you created Batman, you're gonna be punished, you're gonna have torture, and he doesn't end up doing it, but he's making him scared, and now you see the aftermath where he's just really shooken up, and he's like, oh, I just want to be alone, and he's like, I don't know why, but I'm really scared, you know, I don't know why, I feel really tired, so he does punish him in a Batman way. And then in the end of the issue, we get to see that Alfred tells Bruce, like, you know, maybe it's been a little bit too much with the chair, get off. It's been controlling you. And Bruce tries to get off the chair, and he's like, no, I'm going to stay on it. But it truly shows that the chair is controlling him. And now his last mission he wants to do is to defeat the Joker, because he feels like he can. And that's I don't want to show that more. And that's the end of the issue. That's supposedly going to continue in Justice League issue 46. So what do I think about this issue? I really enjoyed it. Again, this was a book I originally was not going to pick up, and I was like, oh, what does this have to do with anything? But a good tie-in, a good one-shot issue is a standalone story that obviously ties into Darkseid, which this does, and could tell a moving story with you just reading this one issue if you're not reading Darkseid Wars. I think that's always the best tie-in. And that's what this book does. It tells a truly moving story about Batman, and what if he was God, you know? What if he had all these powers, what would he do? What would he do to change things? Does he believe that his mission can be over? Does he believe that he could finish crime? That's always been this thing about Batman, is that that's always been his mission, is to just stop crime, period. And obviously that's impossible. That's why he has to keep being Batman. But here he feels he has enough power to know the future, to know what crimes are going to happen, and that's why he feels he can wipe away crime. But I think once he sees Joe Chill, he realizes that people are always going to be bad. And I just love that moment he goes face to face with his parents' murderer in such a really great way, and then reveals himself to be Bruce Wayne. I was pretty shocked by that. Even though it was a race, I think it was more of the meaning of him saying, I'm Bruce Wayne. You did this to me, pretty much. And you don't even care. And I love that moment. And then that ending where it's like, all right, well, I got to get the Joker now. Because that was the question he asked in the Justice League series, like, who's the Joker? And then he finds out, or doesn't find out. We don't know the answer. So we'll see if they're going to do anything with that in the Justice League series. I don't think we'll actually find out who the Joker is, but maybe we'll... I don't want to say we're going to learn more about him, but we're going to see how this happens. We're going to see how a God and Joker battle it out, which I'm excited about. But yeah, I was blown away by this issue. I was just like really surprised with it, because again, I wasn't going to originally pick it up, but it was a beautiful story. And Darkseid War Batman, I totally recommend. I don't know if I could recommend the other tie-ins. I'm gonna give most of them a try after reading this, but this was definitely worth reading. So I give this 4.5 stars. Really enjoyed this one. So hope you guys enjoyed. This is Comic Don't forget to follow me on Twitter. Don't forget to like my Facebook page. Also, in the description below, there is links for my comic book, Like Father, Like Daughter. And don't forget to like the Facebook page of Like Father, Like Daughter. I'll see you guys later. Bye.